All right, here we are. Lunch therapy. So good to be here. It's Thursday. Thursday, we've got the nomadic ambiance background. Today's show is called What Happens If You Don't Do Everything That People Tell You to Do. And so today is going to be all about fun and doing fun things. So invite your friends. We're going to spend a half an hour just enjoying ourselves on this Thursday afternoon because why not? There's so much crap going on in the world and so many weird things happening where you're like, whoa, 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 knock it off. That this is a chance to just jump in, have some fun, look at some otters, watch a couple deer, have a laugh. If you chat, I put it on the screen. This is a fun community. Let's go. Lunch therapy. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 Like they said, we're going to be breathing. We're going to be doing some breathing today. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to breathe 3 times at the top of the show. If you've ever been on this show before, you know this is what we do every show. So, taking a breath in through the nose, out through the toes. Behind me is the beautiful Costa Rica. This is a Costa Rica beach scene. Let it go. When you take in the breath, you want to hold it for a minute. It's like when you lift a weight, you want to, I don't know, you want to hold it up for a little while? I don't know. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Now we're at some interesting place with the Buddha. Some nice, soothing music. I see there's a Tibetan bowl. Jose is gonna get himself a modem. That's the immortal words of John Gould, who one time, it's very prescient, he said, we always quote him on the show. Back in 1983, he stood up in class and said, I'm gonna get myself a modem. And we all laughed. And now today, what would you do without a modem? We have so many modems, and we still don't know what they are. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Shake it out. Shaking it all out. Tomorrow, we are going to have Interview Friday with the incredible Vernis Clear. Vernis is she's a coach. She coaches people doing all sorts of things, but mainly she coaches actors, and she has coached people to win Oscars. So, pretty incredible. Plus, she was the first woman in clown college. I got a little surprise for you right now, and that is that Vernis is right behind me. There she is. There's Vernis. That's Vernis. She's the first woman in clown college. She is just an incredible person. We're going to learn a lot from her. Modems. Yes, modems keep the data flowing through the nose and out through the toes. That's right. Modular system that we have here. I'm going to show you some of Vernis's stand-up comedy. She's a very versatile person. And then we're going to get into the rest of the show. But here she is, Vernice Clear.
There's no rewards for old age. Some of my friends say that playing with their grandchildren is the reward. I'm not convinced. Days go by so quickly. Sometimes I look down at my feet and I don't know if I've just slipped my feet in my shoes because I got up, or I'm slipping them out because I'm going to bed. I have to go slow now. Very slow. I drive slowly. I used to pass everyone on the street, but now I don't pass police cars, they don't pass on the right, they don't pass on the left. I just enjoy the trip. Coming here is 2.5 hours. Under the freeway, watching the migrating butterflies. I kept going. I have a very good friend who had a facelift. She visited me the other day and she said, "You don't have any wrinkles." And I said, and before I could say anything, she said, "It's because you're so fat." Fat fills up. Now I'm afraid to lose weight. Some of my friends are having work done. They're having facelifts and tummy tucks and things taken off and other things put on. I've had some adjustments to make myself. I don't have any adenoids or tonsils or gallbladder or appendix, nor right breast. When I die, my coffin's going to be about this big. Nothing left to.
Yeah, oh, I cut her off. That was Kamala laughing in the background. Often, if Kamala is there, you can hear her laughing. I was going to say, it's sort of like Where's Waldo? Look at what we're looking at here. This is a bicycle. It's in Colombia, and it's a bicycle race. There's some crazy stuff with the GoPro cameras because I can't imagine myself doing this. I don't think it's sped up. It's weird how there are people walking down the path. They clearly have it marked off. But maybe it's marked off for people to walk. I don't know. But this guy, I don't know. This scares me. I'm glad this person's doing this so I don't have to. This is like down the stairs. Sometimes I wonder, is this really happening? Because it seems like you're going to crash. It even gets crazier. This was sent in to me by Neil. I hope you're enjoying it because I am. So today is a show that is very eclectic, and we're going to do a lot of fun things like this. There's going to be surprises around every corner. Next week, we're going to have a lot of guests. This week we had no guests. Next week we're going to have Sally Mullins. We're going to have Joe Menente from the Fourth Wall. We're going to have Seth Word, the elusive Seth Word, who was supposed to be on this week, but got a job, got a gig. The GoPro is the least crazy thing about this, I know. It's funny. Get your friends to subscribe to Lunch Therapy. This is the way you can sell it to them. You can say, hey, it's a really fun break from the rest of your day. Plus, you could take a date there. It's a great place to have a date. You know, it's a safe place. You can chat with one another across the show. You can also do your business meetings here. This is the new Zoom. You could come in, you could chat, you could, negotiate across the chat room while you hear funny jokes and see crazy things like this. Hi. Hi, Ganel. Good to see you here. So that, talk about being jostled. I know. You get to a certain age, you can't get jostled like that. So this is a looping water slide, again, sent in by Ganel, who's here in the chat room today. When we were looking at Action Park a while back, it seems like a millennium ago, we saw the looping water slide and we were like, that's crazy. And apparently somebody went on the loop and like got stuck up there or hit their head, so they had to make a little door on the top of the loop, and we were like, that is nuts. You can't have a looping water slide. Well, here's one. Columbian school bus, the bike. Whoa, look at this. Yeah, so not only does it loop, but there's like a weird jump at the end. We gotta watch it one more time. How many times could we watch it? I don't know, 1 million? I could watch it 1 million times. Wow. And then at the end, I think he does a flip, or I don't know. It's pretty cool. Okay, now for the pièce de résistance. Did I miss the breathing? Work has been interfering with my therapy. You know, lunch therapy helps you in your work. So if you get here on time, you can breathe and you'll be much better at whatever it is you do, taking depositions or making meat sandwiches or whatever you do out there in the world. It wouldn't be as exciting without the music. I added the music. It's pretty fun. Anyway, the pièce de résistance is coming, and that is a swimming capybara underwater. I can't believe it's happening. Let's go. Holy. Yeah, I chose this music too. I don't know why. Probably because it's rights free. I don't know. It seemed kind of down home. That is, and you're like, is that really? That can't possibly be a capybara swimming under the water. This has got to be some kind of CGI, or maybe that's not a capybara. Maybe that is a seal or something. How can a rodent swim underwater? I have never seen it before, but now you've seen it here on Lunch Therapy. Every day at noon, you can see extraordinary things like this. We love capybaras here. It is fun and cheery, isn't it? Fun and cheery music. Everybody's, yeah. If Kamala was in the audience and you could hear her, you would be able to pick her out. She has a very distinct laugh. That right, because capybaras are folksy. This has been, this was Animal Week, and I think it's actually been Capybara Week, or it's been Animals Eating Pumpkin Week. Or I think it's been capybaras and animals eating pumpkin week. Next week, I'm going to tell you towards the end of the show what next week's going to be. It's going to be pretty exciting. How does he breathe? I know. How does he breathe? Oh, how does he breathe? You mean like a beaver or an otter? Yeah, that's what I mean. He looks like a beaver. Yeah. Or an otter. Yeah, not a seal. I was thinking. Check out how his ears are closed up. Yeah, it's not only can he swim, but he's good at swimming. He's a better swimmer than I am, and I was the champion breaststroker in District 15. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that about me. Greg Wordless says those are rodents that swim. Yeah, I mean, I never think of rodents swimming, but I suppose they do. Yep. Capybaras are great until a meditation of them start to eat you. It's good you're using that new word, meditation of capybaras. All right, so now here's Boney to tell you something really important. Ladies and gentlemen, Boney, straight from the green room, here at Lunch Therapy. I gotta put this on the screen. I can't believe he said that. And I can't believe I put it on the screen. It's hilarious.
Hey everybody, it's Boney here, and I just want to tell you a secret. If you guys subscribe to Joel's show, Lunch Therapy, I'll get some lunch. He told me that if 500 people subscribe to his show, I'm gonna get a big lasagna.
Yeah, you heard it right here on the show today that if we get to 500 subscribers by Sunday, I'm going to say by Sunday, Boney will eat an entire lasagna right here on the show. I promised you that will happen, but we've got to get to 500 subscribers by Sunday. So invite your golfing partners. Just put it in conversation. That's what I do lately is when I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, hey, have you seen Lunch Therapy with the great person, the Bat, or the Boney? Have you seen the show with Boney? You really might enjoy it. Next time we get together, let's meet at Lunch Therapy and talk about whatever we want to talk about right there on the screen for everybody to see. Come on in, lots of guests. It's super fun. I don't know. What else do you need for a selling point? Here's the subscriber update. We're getting to 500 by Sunday. We are getting there. Let's see what chat room says. I don't know about being eaten by a meditation of capybaras would be a cool epitaph. Being eaten by a meditation of capybaras. So it's like on your gravestone, he was eaten by a meditation of capybaras. What a way to go, right? You know, they say at the end of your life, you finally understand what life is. You finally have all the answers, and then you die. But I don't think that's true. I think you just think you have the answers, and then you die. You know, it's kind of like, why does everything I lose, why do I find it in the last place I look? It's like that. You're like, oh, I finally figured it out. And you die. But you probably didn't. That's a little uplifting thing for you. You should send me a clip of that tweet out. Oh, yeah, I will. I don't know what it means, but I will do it. Who knew that we'd have this language now? You know, when we were kids, they said, you'll be doing jobs that haven't been invented yet. But you'll also be saying things like, you should send me a clip of that tweet out. Or try to get your brother to subscribe. I know, what the hell? Please, let's get my brother to subscribe. And my sister-in-law, and my parents. Let's get them. That'll almost put us to 500 because here's the subscriber update. Here it is. We're going to find out the number. What is it? 470. 470. Ding, 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 ding. So that means 30 more subscribers by Sunday. Seems very doable, doesn't it? I mean, I've got over 1,000 Facebook friends, right? You think we could get them? Well, because you're dead and no one can disagree with you. Because you're dead. Yeah. It's true. No one can disagree with you. Oh, we've got some breaking news. This show is just moving. It's just moving, moving, moving. And here it is, breaking news. Local breaking news. Okay, so last week, no, not last week, like 3 weeks ago, or who knows, a long time ago, we had Nelson Tyler on the show. This is him. If you remember, he was on Interview Friday. He invented the jetpack, right? And I asked him because the reason we even got into this thing was because Tom Kearney had mentioned to me on the show when he was a guest that they had seen a person flying at 3,000 feet outside the window of a jet plane at LAX with a jetpack, just out there, just like the Rocketeer. And so eventually we got Nelson Tyler on the phone. That was his wife that just walked by the screen. We got him on. We talked to him about the jetpack, and we learned all kinds of things. And there's incredible jetpacks out there. But now, last night, we're watching the news, and this happened.
Has Rocket Man returned to China Airlines flight?
So, yeah. Wait a minute, let me.
Rocket Man returned to China Airlines flight crew spotted a possible person today hovering near LAX in a jetpack. This is the second jetpack sighting in about 6 weeks now, and this time it was flying twice as high.
NBC4's Robert Kovacic live in the newsroom now with new information for us. Robert.
Carolyn and Chuck, tonight NBC4 trying to make sense of now another mystery. The FBI and FAA are taking very seriously due to the dangerous and deadly consequences. But what we have are 2 incidents, 0 video, no pictures captured from passengers in the air or people
Come
on
on,
the
people.
ground. What we
Take
do
some video
have
of
is
this.
a 3-time Academy Award winner who just happened to invent what he says is the world's first jetpack.
I like the way they say what he says, as if he's like
Trying on the most
lying,
expensive
or they
thing
didn't
I've
want to look
ever
into
worn,
it or something,
a
or they never watched the interview
$500,000 jetpack,
on Lunch Therapy.
believed to be the only one in LA and only one of 4 jetpacks in the world.
We don't want to start it, but how loud is it?
Really loud.
Just sort of right up to.
Today, a China Airlines crew
China
reported
Airlines.
something 6,000 feet above near
6,000
LAX.
feet.
Was it a UAV or was it a jetpack?
Like a jetpack.
We didn't do it. But I don't know who did it.
He's like, he didn't do it.
Meet Nelson Tyler, the designer of the rocket belt that flew into the opening ceremony of the LA Olympics in '84 and who's been fine-tuning the future of jetpack flight ever since. No, this won't be taking you to work anytime soon.
It's too dangerous. You know, if an engine quits, you die. And a parachute system that can work from 10 feet doesn't exist.
This is what 4,300 feet looks like, so that jetpacker was another
6,000
feet higher.
News Shopper 4
6,000
Bravo
feet.
checking out what China Airlines spotted, and back on August 30th, pilots reported the same.
We just saw the guy pass by us jetpack. Only in LA.
But Tyler
Only
says
in
if
LA.
there is
That's what
a
they said.
real jetpack
Only in
out
LA.
there, he would know.
I think it's probably an inflatable, look-alike jetpack. Not real.
I like that. All right. That's the scoop. I like the way Nelson Tyler just said, I think it was an inflatable jetpack. I think it was just an inflatable thing that was made to look like a jetpack. I don't know. Pretty fun. We're in the room with Tass right now because today's show is all about fun, and this is one of my favorite things to play on the show. And I don't know. It just makes me feel good. But we're moving on because I got to move on, especially because we got the topic to talk about. The topic. Here we go. So here's the topic. The topic of the show is, what if you didn't do what everybody tells you to do? There was a guy, I was listening to him interviewed. I don't know his name. I tried to look for his name before the show. Because inflatable jetpacks are a thing. Yeah, I like the way the logic that Nelson came up with. Well, of course, it's an inflatable jetpack. He's just pretending to be a jetpack because everybody has those inflatable jetpacks that fly up to 6,000 feet. When I asked him if somebody could be up there at 3,000 feet, he said yes. Of course, they could die right after that. So, people are always trying to fake you out with those inflatable jetpacks. They just bug me, those people. So, the question, it's the longest question. I can't even say it again. What would you do if you didn't do, what would happen if you didn't do what everybody told you to do? And this story that I'm going to tell you is a short story, but it's a beautiful one. And it's to end Animal Week because yesterday was dark with the Dark Knight Aurora we had yesterday. If you didn't see that show, the bat was on. There was a lot of, it's just a very intense movie. And I thought I'm going to tell a nice animal story today. And it's going to be about what happens if you don't do what everybody tells you to do. So, Camel and I are walking. We go on this walk. I'm going to demonstrate that. We do go on this walk. This is the way I walk, too. Actually, I run in a very strange way. It's like I'm running, but it's super slow. And I was doing that, and we go, I think it's like, we would go like 3 miles out, 3 miles back. No, that seems like too long. 1.5 miles out, 1.5 miles back. Take us like an hour. And we were almost to the end of our walk where we turn around and come back. And we were walking by this house, and these what looked like two rodents came out between the fence. And they were they were kittens, but they were so emaciated, and their eyes had all conjunctivitis, and they looked like they were just about to die. Sort of like the fish that are spawning in Alaska, and they're going up the stream, and they're going to lay their eggs before they die. These look like little rats. But one of them was meowing at us, meow, 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 meow. And Kamala was like, oh, look at the cute little rats. Let's take them home. And I was like, we can't do that because we already have a cat, and we can't have 3 cats. That'd be crazy. And so I was like, let's keep walking. So we kept walking, we touched the thing, and then we came back, and Kamala was like, we got to take these cats. And they were following us, these little kittens with conjunctivitis and all emaciated, coming after us. And I'm like, they're following us. They're following us. She's like, oh, we have to take them home. And I was like, we can't. And they just kept following us. And it got so we were like, well, let's lift them up at the street so they don't get hit by a car. So we would lift them up, and then we'd put them down on the other street, and they'd keep following us. And then Kamala started holding one of them that looked like it just, I don't know. And it just shit all over her. She had this white pull up with a zipper, and it just all over that. And we had to jettison that in a dumpster or something. And then they followed us, and we took them home, and we gave them food, and they just ate the food so ravenously. Peanut shit diarrhea all over it. Yeah. So it's confirmed. Peanut, which was the little tortoiseshell cat, crapped all over. So we got on, we fed them food. They just ate like ravenous dogs, just a whole bowl of just whatever they could do, like it was their last meal. Ralph Lauren pullover, yes. That's the specifics of it. Not a pullover, zipper. The detail in this story is so incredible. And so one was a tortoiseshell cat, the other was a tabby. They ate ravenously. And we were like, oh, we got to take them to the vet. So we took them to the vet. And the vet had them for a little while. And they came out and they said to us, these 2 cats have feline leukemia. They're on their last legs. They're going to die within the next couple of days. So you should just put them down. And this is when Kamala said no. This is the story. This is the title of the story is, what do you do when you don't do what people tell you to do? And so she was like, no, hold these cats, feed them, keep them for a little while, and then give them to us. They were like, okay. And so they did that. They kept them like in a cage, and they fed them, and they gave them to us eventually. And they were like, they're going to die. So we took them home, and we fed them rice and garlic and played classical music and kept them in the laundry room for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, we brought them back to the vet, and they were like, oh, you picked up some more cats? And we were like, no, these are the cats that you had. And they're like, no, they're not. And they had so rejuvenated themselves. And we were like, well, what's feline leukemia? And they said, well, they're going to die of this horrible thing. And we had met somebody that had a cat that had feline leukemia and was like 12 years old, all fat and fluffy. So we decided we're going to keep these cats. Peanut and Moochie were the name of these cats. I will now show you some pictures, some adorable pictures. There they are with the cones on their heads. That's them when they were tiny, tiny cats. There's Moochie looking out the window with the cone. This is after we spayed them. Moochie later on, adorable cat, sleeping amongst the flowers. Moochie lived for 8 years. 8 years. And probably would have lived longer if she wasn't an outdoor cat. Because she got a little injured, and eventually I think that took her down. But Peanut, 10 years later, totally converted, doesn't have feline leukemia anymore. one of the healthiest cats I've ever seen. Who knows how long Peanut will live. So that is, the moral of the story is, don't always do what people tell you to do. Because they might be wrong. Even if they're veterinarians or they're experts, they might be wrong. That is the end. Well, no, it's not the end of Animal Week. I got a few more things. Show's moving along. It's almost over, unfortunately, but there's some stuff I gotta show you before we go, before we leave. This is just a relaxing waterfall. For those of you that are a little worked up from that intense story about the kittens, we have a waterfall here for you. This is from a channel called Piano Relaxing. Yogurt balls. Yeah. I'm sorry, they were yogurt and rice balls with garlic in them that we fed the cats. I mean, I'm not a vet, but it seemed to work. It seemed to really work. Okay, so there's relaxing waterfall. We don't have time to relax like this because we've got to look at this. So, the other day we were talking about this, and I gotta put my hat on like these guys. We were talking about these yesterday. Some of you were here. These are these special drums that I have never seen before in my life, but I don't know how I have existed without them. I was saying, these guys are particularly good at this. They are called Hang Massive. I've learned folks like doctors can only recommend what they believe to be true. It's a matter of ethics and legal stuff. Interesting. Find a doctor without limiting beliefs. Yeah, this is, I said this yesterday. There was a guy who was a heroin addict. Was trying to stop being a heroin addict, and he got one of these drums. And then he died of a heroin overdose. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. He stopped doing the heroin, plays one of these drums. Yeah, Kamala's mom said that's how to cure them, and she was right. Moms are good with that kind of stuff. I love this. Hang Massive. It's a funny name, and they have their knot heads underneath their hats. That's another thing I learned, a term I learned yesterday. Knot heads. I'm a knot head. All right, next. This is just some guy walking in the snow. I love watching people walk in the snow. I don't know. It's pretty fun. We saw drums like these in the Virgin Islands. Really? I'm thinking there's a thing called a tongue drum that you can get. Maybe that's a good starter drum like that. This is guy walking in the snow in Omisoka. This is a channel called Rambalak. It's not a vlog. He says it's not a vlog. No intrusive face talking. Face talking, that's the best kind. Are they massively hung? Hang massive? I don't know. I didn't ask them. But I imagine you couldn't really have that name if you were not hung massively. All right, next. Creepy face puppet. This is an incredible puppeteer that I found. Barnaby Dixon. I just want to show you this because I've never seen anything like this. And this guy's a pro. He's really interesting. But he talks in the video about the puppet, and the cool thing about the puppet is it has a digital face on it, and that's his mouth.
Hey folks, Barnaby Dixon here. So pretty much exactly 1 year ago, I shared this concept with you where I projected my face in real time on a puppet's
things people come
body.
up with, it's just incredible.
The reception was strong, but somewhat mixed, as a fair percentage of my audience found this effect incredibly creepy, which I understand, but I was thinking,
creepy at all.
why not try to work with creepy? So this puppet here is kind of a result of that work. In terms of the design and mechanics of it, it's very similar to my Manu puppet. I have control over the hands and even individual fingers. You can see how that works. I'm also using the same glowing pigment that I use for the bug puppet, so this one glows very, very nicely in the dark as well. So besides the use of the face projection, there's some other new elements as well that are pretty fun. For example, these glowing LED eyes, that's something I've not done before, but they run off the same power supply that powers the face screen. Also, there's a little switch in the back of the head that means I'm able to have the puppet.
All right, moving along. Let's see what else we got. Oh, another one of these drums. See, it's for everybody. She's really good too. This is in Prague, in the Old Town Square, and this is Sateem 2588. Interesting name, Sateem 2588. I wonder if she's related to Sator 2588. Shows should be over by now, but oh, can't show you that ASMR. Oh, okay. I just want to show you this one thing in here. These are, of course, animals eating pumpkins.
To open bigger.
This is at the Cincinnati Zoo.
It's like a hydraulic
Hippos eating pumpkins. We couldn't get through the week without hippos eating pumpkins. That's the cutest thing. That's the cutest thing I think I've seen. Check it out. Like that. Check it out. Of course, that was a reference to the woman in Prague, Czechoslovakia. And now the cutest. Anyway, that's that. Check it out, Cincinnati Zoo. All right. Next week. So I'm moving on to what's going to happen next week.
Greatest age of progress and exploration.
This is kind of something that we explored
many pieces of
a few weeks ago.
AI technology into super systems, increasing complexity and stability. It provides a framework for safety and transparency in artificial
Animals
intelligence
love
while
pumpkins.
providing privacy for people's personal data.
Right now, there's no platform anywhere in the world that is specifically
So these are the people
designed to make it easy for
that make
different
Sophia,
AIs to
the robot,
communicate with
the artificial
each other,
intelligence
to
robot.
share data with each other, to make requests of each other, to compensate each other for their work, to rate each other.
I'm going to turn this down, and I'm just going to tell you because Sophia is the artificial intelligence robot. She has a sister. They talk to each other. And now there's going to be a baby robot, little Sophia. And I want to show you that because it's interesting because this is a little baby artificial intelligence robot. Next week, we're going to look more into innovations that are going on in the world that we're missing because we're watching the news cycle and totally missing all the cool stuff that's going on. I don't know. This is very controversial if you ask me, but it's a little playmate for your kid. It's only going to cost like I can't even believe this, but it's, if you pre-order, I'm not advertising this, but if you pre-order this, it costs like $149. Is that possible? Buy one, give one away. $199. I don't know. But anyway, it's a little robot, talks to your kid in case your kid doesn't have any friends. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Matt said he watched an episode of Ridley Scott's Raised by Wolves yesterday. Recommend it if you want to stoke your fear of androids. Yeah, I watched that first episode of that. Pretty intense. It was funny because Kamala was like, I can't watch this. It's too violent. She walked out of the room. And then the female robot started perpetrating so much violence. It was unbelievable. And Kamala came back in. She's like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this. Do the robots like pumpkins? I would think. Sophia's pretty hot. That's the other thing. So then, Todd Lee, one of our viewers, Playmate in quarantine. Yeah, you're right. It'd be good for quarantine. So the other thing that'd be good for quarantine, which Todd sent me this thing where they were interviewing this guy that had a sex robot. And I guess he was the person who was selling it. And they were asking, and all the people that were asking about it were grossed out. They were like, what? And they even wouldn't turn it on because they were afraid she'd say some inappropriate things on television. Baby Sophia, creepy. Yeah. They were afraid that she'd say something weird on television. And he was like, no, I just turn her on to family mode. Actually had a family mode. Yes, Gene Marshall is here. Thank God. This is my aunt. That would make a great horror film. Baby robots in people's homes. Like Chucky, perhaps. He wasn't a baby robot, but he was a possessed doll. It's great to see you here. Anyway, so that's my aunt. Yesterday we had a white deer on from Darlene's house, just so you know. Anyway, this is the way we're going with these robots. So the sex robot had a family mode, and it hangs out with the kids. And they were like, isn't that kind of creepy that you have this relationship with this doll and then it's hanging out with your kids? And then his wife was there, and she's like, I'm fine with it. So anyway, there's a lot of ramifications with these crazy, robots. And, we got to investigate this. Anyway, next week, we're going to be investigating not only that, but we're going to investigate new innovations in robot organs that they can put in your body and make you live longer. Maybe someday we'll live to be 5,000 years old, like Ray Kurzweil says, because of these incredible innovations that are going on that we're missing because we're spending so much time watching the news cycle. This is my thesis today. Anyway, Innovation Week next week. And we're going to have some guests on here, comedians, because comedians are the best people to ask about technological innovations. Comedians, that and also self-help. Comedians are the place, that's where you go to get most of your recommendations and knowledge. Her is another good film on this topic. I love the movie Her. I think Joaquin Phoenix is one of my favorite actors. And that movie is delightful. So he falls in love with his iPhone, essentially. Future iPhone, whatever that's called. The future is cyborg. There's also, so tomorrow we're going to have Vernis on the show. Vernis Clear, interesting person. There is even a connection with this thing behind me. I don't know if she's going to tell us about it, but she's definitely involved in some super secret, top secret things. Secret things. And we're going to try and get them out of her tomorrow on the show with a live chat room. Now it's time for a fantastic dance party because I know you guys need it. Or I know you all need it. Not just you guys. Everybody. Robots, cats, dogs, capybaras. We all need a dance party. And it's happening right now. And I found this guy. He's a busker. His name's Gabriel Myers. And I, sent him a message late last night. But you know what I also found out? Gabriel Myers, not only is this incredible busker in the Brooklyn subway. That's right. Always with the secrets. Elizabeth Croydon, I believe you're talking about. I have a lot of friends that have secrets. They're on the witness protection program. They work for the government. I'm really tapped in to the people with secrets, and they don't tell me any of them. None of them. So I just know they have secrets, and that's it. Anyway, Gabriel Myers, incredible. I think incredible is a word I've got to strike from my language now. But anyway, he is. He's a busker, and he also has a show much like this one. If you go on over to his channel and subscribe, make sure that you subscribe to this one as well. All right, little hummingbird down. It's so hard to point when you're on screen. Down in the lower right-hand corner, hover over it, subscribe. If you're not on YouTube, go to joelmarshall.com, get your ass over there and subscribe. Here we go. Gabriel Myers. Get ready. He's going to be playing some Velvet Underground as soon as I turn his volume on. Because, you know, I'm going to talk through it the whole time, but we should be able to hear him at least. I like this beginning because it sounds like another song. Anybody know what it is?
She comes.
It's too hard to think of another song while you're listening to a song.
She's gonna break your heart in two. It's true. It's not hard to realize. Just look into a false-colored eye.
I'm purposely not talking.
She'll pick you up just
because
to bring
he's singing.
You down.
So if I was talking while he was singing, that would be rude.
'Cause everybody knows
I could maybe sing background
the things she does to please.
But that would kind of ruin it, I think.
She's just a little
So I don't even know the song. It's a nice one.
See the way she walks.
Thanks everybody for being here this week.
Hear the way
It's super
she
fun.
talks.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
You're written in her book.
Right.
You're number
Lord.
47, have a look.
This is good.
She'll make you smile just to see you frown. What a clown. Little boy, she's from the street. Before you start, you're already beat. She's gonna play.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow for our interview with Ernest Clear.
Cause everybody knows the things she does to please.
Isn't that interesting?
She's just a little tease.
You guys are talking. Sven is in Belgium. Danielle is in an undisclosed location in Washington State. And you had the thought simultaneously. Oh yeah. I gotta listen to the original too. Check out Gabriel Mayer's website, see his show, but make sure you don't fall in love too much because you gotta come back to this show. All right, see y'all.